Amur maple is a beautiful ornamental tree when you have it in your yard, but when it gets out in the wild, it becomes an invasive species. And here back on North 40, there's a lot of it. Let's go take a look. Here's an example right here. This is Amur maple. You can tell by the leaves. It's kind of a bushy tree. Doesn't get real big. They've got kind of a distinctive leaf on them, with the middle part of it sticks out a lot further than the two side parts. And it's a prolific spreader out in the wild. That's why it's considered invasive out here. I think there's a bunch of them in there. And this over here, this is all Amur maple. And I hope to get rid of it all. Through one means or another. I'll pull out the ones I can, and the ones I can't, I'll cut them off and put some herbicide on. Because if you can pull it out and get the crown of the root out, they won't resprout. But if you just cut it off, they're going to resprout. I think there's a bunch more out here in the other parts of the 40. Let's take a look. So here's some Amur maple right here. You can see by those distinctive leaves. And in the fall it'll turn red, which is pretty, but I'm not sure I want a bunch of Amur maple taking over the property here. I'm proud not the natural species. Amur maple was brought over to this country back in the 1860s from China and Japan, where it's native. By people planting in their yards and such, it's spread into the wildlands and become a problem. I read that currently if you buy Amur maple, the instructions say that if you plant it in your yard, make sure you're at least 100 yards from any wildlands, because it could spread. So as we go down this little access road, I'm seeing every once in a while I'm seeing more Amur maple, and it seems to be, once you know what it looks like, you start finding it everywhere. And who knows how much is out in the main woods, if there's that much of it just along this road here. There's a bunch more Amur maple here. Look at that. There's a bunch over there, a bunch over there. It's really thick in here. And look at how many seeds it produces. No wonder it takes over so quickly. Wow, looks like the seeds are turning red. Yeah, it's really taken over. So I thought I had my hands full with buckthorn eradication, but or management. It's pretty hard to completely eradicate it, but it looks like I've got Amur maple to add to that list now. I like to avoid using herbicide whenever possible, because it can be dangerous to use for humans, and it's hard on the environment, so I'll have to try and minimize the use of that. Well, I guess I've decided to get rid of the Amur maple on back 40 here. They can be a pretty tree, but I just would rather have the natural native species to look at instead. But if you've got a Amur maple in your yard, and you may want to keep it and enjoy it as an ornamental. They are a pretty tree, but that's a personal decision. So I'm going to get to work now, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.